Thanks for joining us this morning. If you joined us through the week, this is the last of our week of prayer morning videos, and this morning we're looking at out, or reaching out, or looking out. And I want to reflect on, guess what, the pandemic. If we believe that, as we do, that God is the sovereign king of the universe, then God must have permitted this pandemic. This side of eternity, we won't know for certain why, or the reason, or the cause. But what we do know is that this pandemic has woken us up to the fragility of our mortality in the face of death. We're used to feeling this sense of control, used to feeling this sense of being in charge of our own destiny. But the pandemic has fractured that as we've struggled to respond. Now, why would God allow such adversity? Perhaps God would allow such adversity as a jolt to get our attention. In his book, The Problem of Pain, C.S. Lewis puts it this way: God whispers to us in our pleasures, but shouts in our pains. Pain is a megaphone to rouse a deaf world. In one sense, you can't rouse the deaf with a megaphone, but the idea is clear in Lewis that God uses adversity and pain and pandemic to wake us up, to say, listen, there's something big going on. I know personally that God has used adversity in my life rather than comfort and pleasure to draw my heart to him, to wake me up to things of eternal significance. And I know that pandemic in the church can separate. In one sense, pandemic has caused some to drift away. But also pandemic has caused some to seek God and to press in close. And I think we'll see that in the nation. But I want us to pray that God will use the pandemic to open people's ears to the good news of Jesus. Let's pray for revival. History tells us that great crises tend to bring us to tipping points of profound social change. That after the Second World War in the early 1950s, churches really saw people respond to the gospel. After the poverty and the challenges of the Industrial Revolution, there was the Great Awakening. Let's pray that God uses this pandemic as a wake-up call to a sleeping, deaf nation to hear the good news of Jesus. Let's pray that today. Have a great day. God bless.